Hello everyone and welcome to Gamaray Predicts NFL Week 7. Now it's safe to say that there's definitely been an interesting week in the NFL. Getting into my results, I went 8-6 on the week, bringing my total to 63, 27, and 1. There's more red on this chart than what the Cowboys fans are seeing nowadays. Speaking of disappointments, what was potentially the last Brady vs. Rodgers regular season game was absolutely catastrophic for a neutral fan. Luckily, I'm not a neutral fan and I wanted to see the Packers lose, so it's safe to say that the whole of Chicago might have gotten a little busy on Sunday night, if you know what I mean. Instead of getting pissed off at the world Aaron Rodgers, we got solely pissed off at his own O-line Aaron Rodgers. The Packers O-line was awful in this game. They genuinely couldn't stop a 4-year-old from getting into the backfield. Speaking of the Packers, former Packers head coach Mike Montgomery and his Cowboys got spanked by the Arizona Cardinals on Monday night. It was an absolutely shambolic performance from Andy Dalton in place of the injured Dak Prescott that cemented the Cowboys' fate. Toward the end of the game, the Cowboys fans were booing their own team off the field. Man, I swear, the only socially distanced thing in Arlington is the brain cells of Texas people.
I'm up 10 points in my fantasy league, but tonight my opponent has 3 players. I have 2. One of his is Murray. Mine is Kenyon Drake in the Arizona game. And come on, Arizona, run the football.
In place will come shortly. Dak got the word. The good news on that the last day or so. And there's going to be more. Kenyon Drake over 100 yards and into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. 69.
Imagine this. You're O.J. Simpson's opponent and you've just lost to him because of a garbage time play like this. God damn it, Cowboys. With the Packers' loss to the Buccaneers, the Bears move into first place by half a game in the NFC North. However, the Packers have a game at hand. If the Bears keep their same defensive form that they've had all season, and the offense does just enough to win the game, this Bears team could certainly be good enough to be in the playoffs. However, there would be a spike in hospitalizations in Chicago, not because of COVID, but because of the amount of heart attacks that Bears fans would endure throughout the playoffs. Without further ado, let's get into my Week 7 predictions. First up, we have Thursday Night Football. I'm hoping to get this video out before Thursday. I should be able to. Giants and Eagles, an NFC East matchup on Thursday Night Football. What could be worse? I'm gonna go with the Eagles. They're mediocre. I mean, every team in that division is bad, but out of all of them, the Giants are probably the worst. Then I'd probably go the Cowboys. Then I'd go Washington. Then the Eagles. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles to beat the Giants in this one. Although I don't know. Panthers and Saints. The Saints are very frustrating to pick because one game they're beating the Buccaneers big, and then the next they're losing to the Chargers, or not to the Chargers, to the Raiders. So they're very frustrating to pick. I don't know if Michael Thomas is playing. Drew Brees doesn't look very good. I'm still gonna go with them though. They're at home. I think the Saints will beat the Panthers. Bills and Jets. What better for the Bills after 2 tough games than to go into New Jersey and beat up on the worst football team in the history of the NFL. I'm going to go with the Bills in this one. I don't think it's going to be even close. Bills by a mile. Browns and Bengals. The Bengals, they've got some tough luck. They've got a good quarterback, and we all know about their offensive line. The Browns, they've also had some tough luck the last couple of weeks. They had a good game against the Colts, and then they had to play the Steelers and lost. I think that they're going to win this game over the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals have much of a chance against very good teams like the Browns. So yeah, I'm taking the Browns over the Bengals. Cowboys and the Washington football team. They're in Washington. I'm gonna go with the Washington football team. The Cowboys just got embarrassed in 2 straight games. The one against New York wasn't an embarrassment other than the fact that it was a close game against the damn Giants. Andy Dalton looked like garbage in the game against the Cardinals, and I think that the Washington football team might have a chance if Kyle Allen gets pulled. Even if he doesn't, though, he might be able to outduel Andy Dalton. Football team over Cowboys. Packers and Texans. The Packers got their asses kicked against the Buccaneers, and the Texans just lost, like, very narrowly in overtime to the Titans, who are a very good team. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I think they'll have a bounce back game, but if the O-line can't figure their shit out, I don't see Aaron Rodgers being able to do a lot. I also, though, don't see the Texans, outside of J.J. Watt, being able to bring much pass rush. So that's just going to be kind of a toss-up game. If the offensive line continues to perform like they did last week, the Packers are definitely in trouble. But I'm going to pick them in this game over the Texans. Lions and Falcons. The Falcons finally won a damn game, and the Lions are mediocre. I'm gonna go with the Lions. They're in Atlanta, but the Falcons are so unproven now that they've gotten rid of Dan Quinn. They don't really have an identity, so I struggle to pick teams that don't have an identity over mediocrity at best. So I'm gonna go with the Lions over the Falcons. Steelers and Titans, a matchup of juggernaut so far. The Steelers' offense looks unstoppable, and the Titans have just been playing so damn well. I'm going to go with the Steelers. Big Ben looks like prime Big Ben, and they have been playing very well. I'm going to go with the Steelers over the Titans in that one. Seahawks and Cardinals. The Cardinals get an easy Monday-nighter and then have to go and lose to the Seahawks. There's no way they're beating them. I'm going to go with the Seahawks over the Cardinals. Chiefs and Broncos. The Chiefs squeaked by the Buffalo Bills on Monday, and they came off of a loss against the Raiders for the Bills. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. The Broncos, I don't know what their quarterback situation really is, but I know that they're not starting Drew Lock, so that gives them no chance in my eyes. Jaguars and Chargers. In LA, the Chargers are probably going to win this game. The Jaguars are tanking, and the Minshew Mania hype is kind of fading away, and the Chargers are going to win this game. 49ers and Patriots. Cam Newton played against the Broncos and was absolutely awful. I don't know if it's because he's still dealing with COVID or because maybe the lack of preseason is catching up to him. I'm going to put my money on that he's still dealing with COVID. He's going to be better this week, and he and the Patriots are going to beat the 49ers. Buccaneers and Raiders. The Raiders are another really frustrating team to predict because one minute they're losing to the Patriots, and then the next week they're beating the Chiefs. So they're a really tough team to call. The Buccaneers didn't look very good at first, and then they started to look better, put up a fight against the Bears, and then absolutely destroyed the Packers. I think that offense might be gelling together, and that defense actually looks really good. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers over the Raiders in Las Vegas. And finally, the inaugural forced matchup, forced matchup between the Bears and the Rams. These games between these two teams are always very low scoring and close. I'm going to go with the Bears, even though it's in LA. I feel like whichever team can put pressure on the QB more is going to win. But I feel like Nick Foles would be able to bounce back better than Jared Goff would, just because he has in the past. Jared Goff has looked good, but when he has looked good, he hasn't been pressurized. And that is something that that Bears can definitely do, is send pressure. If they can hold themselves in the secondary and in the run game, I can see them winning this game, although I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams win. But I'm going to go with the Bears over the Rams in that one. And that is going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Comment below whether you agree or disagree. And leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Take care and peace.